I'm caffeinated. Hi, I'm Grace with Trollord Games, and it's time to break out those favorite fantasy fanfics that you wrote in middle school, because today we're building our first character in Castles and Crusades. In this series, we're diving into each part of the character sheet and getting you familiar with the basics of the game. Today, we're focusing on attribute scores and their modifiers. When creating a character and determining their attribute scores, it's important to have an idea in mind of who and what you want to play. Castles and Crusades offers 13 different classes in their player's handbook and an additional 12 in the adventurer's backpack, and they all have their own unique features and abilities. So take some time to pick a class that seems fun to play, and then flesh out your character's backstory, their personality, their wants, their needs, their fears, their trauma, etc. And keep in mind, there is no wrong way to design a character. Lots of people draw inspiration from their favorite books and movies, and there are plenty of gaming supplements that are available on the market if you're having trouble coming up with ideas. Whatever you choose, make sure that it's a character you'll have fun playing, and one that the rest of your gaming table will enjoy playing alongside. For this example, our player Nick has decided that he wants to play as Grognar, the human fighter from the small town of Havensford. But before Grognar can start his quest, we have to make him first. Once you have your character in mind, you'll have to generate your attribute scores for strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. These 6 attributes are the foundation of play. To come up with your attribute scores, you'll need to roll 3 6-sided dice. Add the total that you get together and assign that number to any attribute score you want. You'll be doing this 6 times for each attribute score. And as a note, this is just one of several ways of generating attributes. Your castle keeper might want you to use a different method, so be sure to consult with them before you create your character. You do not want to be on the castle keeper's bad side. After Nick finished rolling, he ends up with these totals and will assign them based on how he wants to portray and play Grognar. Since Grognar is a fighter, this means that he's required to select strength as one of his primary attributes. Every class has a set primary attribute that can't be changed. And since Grognar is a human, Nick gets to choose 2 additional primary attributes. To learn more about primary and secondary attributes and skill checks in general, go watch our previous video in this series. Since Nick wants Grognar to be durable and capable of weathering threats in and out of combat, he decides to choose Constitution as one of his primary attributes. He also wants Grognar to be a little bit more personable and comfortable in social situations, so he chooses Charisma as his final primary attribute. Looking at the numbers that Nick rolled and having determined which attributes are primary and secondary, he can now confidently assign the numbers he rolled for Grognar. Wanting to be an absolute powerhouse on the battlefield, Nick decides that Strength will be Grognar's best attribute, and is given the 17, followed closely by Constitution with a score of 15. He decides to assign the rest of the scores like this. Keep in mind that there's no rule stating that your highest scores need to be assigned as your primary attributes. There might be advantages to shoring up a low score in one attribute by making it a primary. With our attributes set, we can now find the modifier for each attribute. Put simply, a modifier is a number determined by your attribute score that you add to rolls that you make in the game. These are found in this handy dandy chart on page 14 of the 9th printing of the player's handbook. With our scores set and with our handy modifier table as a reference, we can determine what the modifiers are for each of Grognar's attributes. They look like this. Now let's take a look at the modifiers in action. When Grognar attempts to perform a feat of great athleticism, we'll get to add his strength modifier and his level to the check. Grognar is attempting to leap over a massive chasm. The castle keeper decides to call for a strength check from Grognar. Nick will roll a d20 and add both Grognar's strength modifier plus his level for a total bonus of +3. Nick rolls a 12 on the dice for a total of 15, and successfully leaps over the chasm, avoiding certain death. Let's look at another example. All of this physical activity has left Grognar hungry. He decides to go foraging, and stumbles across a delicious-looking mushroom. The castle keeper decides to call for an intelligence check. What could go wrong? Again, following the same formula as before, Nick rolls a d20 and adds his intelligence modifier as well as his level. In this instance, Nick rolls a 5, subtracts 2 because his intelligence modifier is -2, and adds his level. This brings his total check to a 4. Unfortunately, Grognar was not blessed with an abundance of intelligence. Had he been, he might have realized that the mushroom he just ate was highly poisonous, and perishes a few days later from complete renal failure. With so many dangers and opportunities out in the world for Grognar, it's important to keep in mind his strengths and weaknesses. If you can do that, you're basically guaranteed to live to sea level 2. From all of us here at Troll Games, may your castles be sturdy, your dice favorable, and always remember Rule 19. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, and Fireball beats all of the goblins playing rock, paper, scissors. See you next time.
A story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape.
Troll Games, join the fray.
As he sits at his desk, contemplating the world, the troll looks up and says, "Hello!"
Greetings, everybody. What is today? The 22nd of October. So the good news is, to let everybody know, the player's handbook slot and everything, the quotes, everything's ready. We're going to upload it either tonight or first thing in the morning. We are doing our very, very final pass. And as soon as I got those edits and things plugged in, it's going up. And we're going to get it printed. So super, super jazzed about that. The CKG will follow suit probably by tomorrow afternoon. And the M&T will be a few more days. It's still got a little bit of tinkering that we need to do with it. But all of those will be at the printers in the next few days. What was it? The good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. And understand that Lando already bought me Dr. Pepper. Lando, very much appreciated. It's been an interesting day today for sure. Sundance, we print all of our own softcover books, but these will be printed at Walsworth, which is a printing company out of Missouri. You know, we've been using them since, I don't know, 2024, 2025, something like that. And so it will definitely be Walsworth.
What did you say? I need to ask your last sentence there. You said, I heard we've been using them since 2024, 2025.
Oh, yeah. Since the future. Since
Wrong stream. Wrong stream.
We went into the future to start using our printer. Since whatever day, 2004, 2005, or since, I really can't remember. We used, go back to the present. Yes, Death Angel. We used print and litho. I can't remember all of these. Transcontinental and Quebecor. And there was another one in there somewhere. And then we started using Horton's. Nope, that's another printer. Then we started using Walsworth for our hardcovers. It is a small and tiny miracle that I can remember all of that madness. But there you go. Yes. So in the future, who knows who we will be using in the future. But this is Ask Me Anything. I am Stephen Chenault, CEO of Troll Games. And if you have any questions about anything we were doing around here, Kickstarters, product, any of that stuff, please throw them in the stream here, and Chuck will throw them at me.
Mr. Squarepeg has a question. Has the license
Yes.
for third-party content been updated? If not,
No.
when can we expect that to happen? First
Soon,
quarter.
I would think, because the Player's Handbook, CKGM, into they'll be done, and two of them are, for all practical purposes, are done, and we just need to wrap up the last one, and then we can kind of go back around and begin sweeping up a lot of the loose ends. So it shouldn't be too long. By year's end, we hope to have put most of this stuff to bed. From the Hermits to the Reforged to the Armory stuff, to have all this put to bed, so that we can then proceed forward into 2025, roughly where we were going into 2023 before the OGL stuff exploded.
You're really talking some time travel stuff now.
Yeah, really. Somehow fix the insanity. It's all good in the end. It will all be much better for everything. Yeah, there you go.
I can answer that, King Maloot. He says, question, what Amazing Adventures campaign do you want to play in first? He wants to play in something that's post-apocalyptic.
Actually, I've been watching all this retro futurism mess. And
Pre-post-apocalyptic.
Pre-post-apocalyptic. I really want to do something kind of X-Files-esque with UFOs, UAPs, but it's not kind of campy or goofy. I think the whole UFO phenomenon, the grays and the aliens and all that stuff, is always treated so campy, mostly treated so campy that it's just goofy. But I would like something a little bit more serious. There's that movie. I posted it on the Discord today. I can never remember the name. And they're not coming for you. No one's going to save you. Or I'm looking it up now. What was the name of that movie? No One Will Save You. Fantastic movie on Hulu. Came out this year, maybe late last year.
That's the movie you were talking about. That's what we were talking about at the con.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Then Stephanie will like it. You will like it. It's kind of it's not a horror movie, but it's not a science fiction movie. It's somewhere in its own kind of.
No one can save you.
It's very, very good.
Right? No one can save you.
What?
No one can save you.
No one can save you. Is that what I think? That's the name of it. It's got that young lady from Justified. No One Will Save You. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Dejara asks, y'all stretched out and supported Shadow Dark stats. Are there any other rules in consideration, like OSC or even OSRIC? I think he was referring to the Shadow Dark stretch reward we did for the Hermit, maybe? That's all I know.
We did. Yes, we're doing. Oh crap! I need to make sure that dude got that copy of the Hermit, because we did all that work to get the text for it, and I'm not sure I sent it to him. So I need to make sure that happens. There's nothing on the docket at the moment, though. We're never adverse to it. I think that the GFW stuff is pretty much system neutral, so that won't have any of it. But we have no problem supporting other systems. Bill Webb's got one coming out in. I think they're going to do a Kickstarter in March. I'm not sure what the status is on all of that, but we'll probably do some support for that for sure. Nothing on the docket.
Soontide asks, what is your favorite cryptid and why?
Oh, it's Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot. I just absolutely. And Bigfoot, it's sort of like the same things that kind of circle the UFOs and the UAAs, whatever I call them now. It's just got this mystique about it, and they're everywhere. They see Bigfoot in Canada, the United States, in Florida, and all over the place. Sam Squinch, yes, Willie knows from the Trailer Park Boys with Bubbles and his Sam Squinch. The Jersey Devil is pretty cool. Somehow I got on this TikTok that does AI versions of these monsters, and I'll have to find it, but there's one from each state. Oh, excuse me.
And we were all like struggling after last week.
Yeah, I've not recovered from the sleepless con. But what would be kind of cool is to do a whole book of monsters for Amazing Adventures that has all of these cryptoids in it, just all of them, from the Jersey Devil to the Jackalope to Bigfoot to all of that stuff. I think it would be very, very cool. But to treat them again, not in a campy fashion, not in kind of some goofy thing that you see on the side of the road, but in some sign on the side of the road, but in a brutal kind of terrifying way. If you watch the X-Files episode where they encounter the Jersey Devil, it's eating people, and that's pretty cool.
Agile, thank you so much for all those gift subs. Really, buddy. Thank you. Goodness.
Sweet. Thank you, Agile. Very, very much appreciated. I can no longer see the chat. There's a hype train in
couple of comments. Let's see here. Commander Jace Lloyd says, thank you for the pre-release beta of the new Monsters and Treasure book. And as you can see, Jace, there's another commander in our chat here. Pete, y'all always have those same letters. I think Pete told me that was a video game or something that all these guys play. I don't know. Or a cult. Not sure. Throwing that out there.
We'll go with a cult.
Yeah. Let's see. I need to introduce Stephen to the owner of Legends and Lore Pizza. He's a cryptic investigator as well as a pizza shop owner. Where's that at, Deaths? That's got to be in Tennessee.
It's got to be in Tennessee.
Well, that's where he's down at. He's down near me, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Only reason I said that yet.
I thought that was a dig at all.
Oh, Madisonville. Okay, right on.
You have to be good at your job, King Kothar. You have to be good at your job. Tyler's in the house. Steven, I should have had you thank Magnetic Press for all the money I spent on the Planet of the Apes RPG Kickstarter. Planet of the Apes is awesome. I haven't seen the RPG, but I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good look. That was looking Kickstarter. I had to really fight not to back that. Mainly, I just looked at my bank account. It's pretty motivational and whatnot, Tyler said that he said he's been called Bigfoot before. I said for good reason.
Aramil asks, when are you going to take my money for my Hermit pre-order? I assume you're talking in Backer Kit. I'm not 100% certain. And we've had some issues on the store with our pre-orders. We kind of learned how that system works. Probably for the Backer Kit, we'll probably lock it down in about a week or so. I'd kind of like the books to be shipping in our direction. And then we can get started on the slipcase, which I hope doesn't take but a few weeks. So relatively soon. This week, maybe, probably next week. I suspect the Hermit will ship Thursday or Friday. That's kind of my guess. I'm not going to swear to anything, but that's my guess. They asked me some end game questions that they always ask at the end of a printer, and they did a printing, and that was last week. So my guess is they're boxing them now. Tyler, that's always a good thing, though. Always a good thing. We got any more questions floating around there, Chuck? No, excellent. Well, then I will take a moment. Wait, here's the question. Can I still pre-order the new CNC books on Backer Kit?
Not yet. That's not set up yet.
Yeah,
no.
Not yet. Chuck will probably tackle that next week because those books will be, they'll be at the printer, so it's time to do the Backer Kit. So we'll start wrapping that up as well. So in the next couple of weeks, everything's in the next couple of weeks, but it is literally in the next couple of weeks. Any advice for adapting some of the Hermit for a 4-hour convention slot? I want to run it for Gary Con. Oh, wow.
Oh, good. I need GMs for that.
That would be cool, but it's kind of an involved. I would cut the overland out. Definitely cut the overland out and get right to it. Have them find the first kind of chapter thing immediately and get into it. So because there's terrain involved. I don't want to go too much into it, but there's terrain involved in 2 seconds. Definitely cut the first terrain out. That might shave off enough time, and you're probably going to have to run people a little bit.
Yeah, we're looking for people to run all the Gygax material for Gary Con for sure. So.
And Gary Con's a place to do it. Any game little highlights for us we couldn't make. For those of us who couldn't make it, it was a good con. Chuck and Jeremy ran the living crap out of some games. Chuck had a bunch of kids games that he found that children are all insane as they plunge forward.
Well, like I told you, the level for savagery doesn't start at age 10 anymore. It's 7. I've dropped it to 7. So
right. So there was that. Dakota started a whole new booth layout, so that was a lot of fun to tinker with that. Game Hall's always a very interesting con. It's got a lot of good panels, a lot of good games. Just all the way. It's just a good con.
I got a question there from Jace McLeod on YouTube. He says, will all the new books ship before Christmas? That would make me for a happy holiday for sure.
So this is our plan. The Hermit should ship before Christmas, and the 3 Reforged books should ship before Christmas. Now, we may not have in that Reforged the adventure collection Beneath the Canopy Green. It is written. We are working on the maps right now and the art, but I don't think it's going to make it out before December. And I don't want to hold up everybody's game books for that. So TLG will eat that amount of doing a split shipping and shipping those to those who backed it separate. That is the current plan. I would like the books to be in the mail in the first week of December, and I would like us to have the Player's Handbook up for the Christmas sale when that begins in December. So that is the plan.
Lots of good comments too earlier on and now about the interview with Jeff at GameHopCon.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, lots of good comments.
Good. That posted.
Yeah, evidently. Yeah.
Yeah, I had not seen it yet. We're still kind of recouping. We got back, jumped out of the trucks, and normally everyone takes off on a Monday, but I asked a Monday after con, I asked everybody to show up for Monday so we could get some stuff that was scattered all over the place knocked out. And the trolls will begin scattering midweek tomorrow, I think, as they do. But we haven't quite caught up with all the other stuff. It's been a very busy season, and we're hoping to wrap this busy season up sooner rather than later. It would just be good.
Ray Tails asks, well, I can answer this question. When will the new Amazing Adventures books be on the TLG store? Now.
They are available now. We put them up yesterday. Chuck went live with those things Sunday night, and they've been for sale all day yesterday and today. They're on drive-through, but not live yet. Probably going to be tomorrow before we go live on drive-through, but they are definitely on our store now.
Yeah, it was taking a little bit longer than I thought it would take. I had some serious issues over there. That place.
Never mind. It's always something.
Let's see. Okay, I've been nice about this for the past couple of weeks due to how busy things have been. But what is the new status of the new TLG CNC licensing documentation so those of us that have work ready can produce for you folks and reforge CNC?
I anticipate that to be ready next week. Really, the key has been to wrap up these things, but we just need to go in and clean it up. That is the hope. We are now winding down on these things, but the hope is it will be very, very soon.
King Glut says, I cast Cure Con crud. You know, someone said they were wondering about it. You know, I can't believe I didn't get sick of all the people I worked. I had 2 14-person games.
You were in the middle of it.
Nothing. You know, Donkey Juice says, since you're just waiting to print for printing, will the PDF be out before the hard copies? Typically, we wait until. Typically, we like to wait until we get the first stuff fulfilled, and then we swing back around and send out all the PDFs
and send it all out. Yeah, so you'll like tomorrow or Thursday, we'll send a whole bunch of Amazing Adventures stuff.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
King Kotho says, Chuck, listen to you talk, you're a deaf.
No, but I did. My voice is still fighting. Still fighting it. I talked a lot at that con. A lot.
I hear your agile monk. We will hobble it together one way or the other.
It will happen. And Ray, well, I was going to tell you something really cool, but Steve, entertain him for just a moment while I look this up.
All right. So, sans any questions, I'm going to dive into a quick recap. I think we got a full house now, anyways. Chuck's holding up his finger.
Oh yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drop. Just a second. I'm gonna drop this into the.
Do you want me to do a recap, or what are you dropping?
I'm gonna drop a link in here real quick because for everybody that if you'll go here, Ray. This will take you to the store, to the featured page, and they should all be floating around in there if you guys want to check the books out. Right there.
There you go.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Question: what is the most common red flag you have seen in new players? Lack of creativity is not the word. They do not understand that they can really try anything in Castles of Success. They keep wanting to look at their sheets for the skills and for the feats or whatever that they have for the instructions and telling them what they can and cannot do. And they carry this over even, into the day-to-day activities of their characters. So I think that's the biggest thing that new players struggle with, and I struggle with new players. It usually takes 3 or 4 games for them to realize, this attribute check system, it transcends whatever's listed on my character sheet and goes into whatever is rolling around on the noodle plate. So it is without a doubt that All right, good deal. Agile's made room on his bookshelves. I got new bookshelves coming in, and they're
You're
like 4 weeks.
nice. How nice.
Yes, they're 4 weeks late though. So
That's what you went and got those somewhere. You didn't just you bought like some
no,
serious ones.
they're handmade in Fort Smith, Arkansas. So it's all it's it's real bookshelves, the whole 9 yards. But I have a feeling that I put the order in and I paid for them, and they didn't start on them. Is my thinking. That's why they're so late. But they should be here hopefully 2 weeks. I think yesterday was the 4 week when they said they would be ready. So I'm hoping I'm gonna call probably Friday and see if I can scrounge those things up. See, I was surprised to learn that one of the most popular mechanics for new players in Wizards of the Coast book are the background generation tables. These younger folks love tables. They also love background stuff. They love building their characters in that way, and I think encouraging them to go in that direction is good because with good backgrounds, it gives you, I was living by the river, so now I can do a swim like a bonus or something like that. It gives you kind of an idea of what maybe your character is skilled in and what the CK will allow you to gain bonuses and what have you. Yes, in a van down by the river. Still one of the greatest sketches of all time.
All right, so you were going to do a product update, right?
Yeah, well, let me do a quick. I'll do a quick Kickstarter Indiegogo campaign update just for all of them and for everyone here. I think we've got in total 6 campaigns open. I'm going to hop open this thing here just to make sure. I can't find it. Let's do it from memory. All right, so I believe first one was do the Indiegogo campaign. That was for Amazing Adventures, for the core Amazing Adventures book and the Player's Handbook. The Player's Handbook and the CK Guide and a slew of adventures. Those are now done. There's 3 books that come out in PDF only that we still have a little bit of tinkering with, but the Amazing Adventures books have been printed and have shipped as of 10 days ago or something, and have shipped to all the backers. So you should have those. If you have not received those, you should check to see if you paid the shipping. And if you have paid the shipping, give us an email and we'll track down the order wherever it is. But if you haven't paid the shipping, just reach out and we'll hook you up on the shipping and get that wrapped up. Next in line is going to be the Exaltum and Infernum books. Infernum is mostly done. Infernum is done, edited, ready for layout. We're working on the art. Zoe is somewhere. I can't remember how deep she is in on the art, but she's pretty deep on that. Exaltum, Jason is working on those now. He's somewhere around half of the way through on the writing. Peter Bradley is going to do the art on those, but I have him doing the art on Beneath the Canopy Green first. So as soon as he's done with Beneath the Canopy Green, his attention will shift to the angelic and celestial figures of that. I don't have a completion date on that. The art has bedeviled us a lot in the past 6 months, and I suspect it will continue to bedevil us for the next few months now until we are through this. So maybe January it's print ready. That's what I'm hoping. Both of those books. After that, we've got the Arms and Armory, the Adventurer's Armory book. That was on Kickstarter as well. The Adventurer's Armory is finished. We need to do one more pass. The Monstrous Armory is mostly done. Well, it's all written. It needs to be edited. Won't take too long on that because it's relatively short text-wise. And probably well over 2/3 of the pieces of art, about 400 pieces of art for that, I think. I can't remember. A little bit more, maybe 600. So those should be done in the coming weeks as well. And then that book's wraps up. War Mount that goes with that is done as well. So those things should be print ready in the next 4 weeks. That's what I'm anticipating. So out right at the beginning of the new year, which will be fantastic. So it looks like 400 pieces of art, 300 have been delivered. So we're well on the way to finishing the Monstrous Army, which is great. The Hermit is finished and being printed now, bound, or I suspect strongly it's being put in boxes now to ship to us. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a delay on shipping it simply because we have to have the slipcase done. We can't have the slipcase done unless we have the book in hand. So as soon as I have the book in hand, I will mail it to the folks out in Denver who do our slipcases and get that rolling. They generally take 2 to 3 weeks. So I anticipate sometime in November that thing is rolling out as well. So that leaves us, what do we got? The Reforged. We've talked a little bit about that. We hope to ship the Reforged books to all the 3 core books to all, and the Crusader to all of the Kickstarter backers first week of December. But the Beneath the Canopy Green will probably not ship until the end of December, early January. But we want you guys to have those core books in hand before the holiday seasons, and we want to get them up on the store before the holiday season. So that one's about wrapped up. The GFW series, I think we are 1 or 2 books shy of having it all kind of reorganized and set and ready to go. We will send that into editing as soon as Finn is done with the Reforged books and the Monstrous Armory book. Then he'll start getting the GFW stuff. And Jason Walton has now finished all of the dragons for the monster book, and he is going to dive into. First, he's got to do the Christmas card, and then he's going to dive into the final pieces of art for the cover, the final cover arts for that thing. So, Super Jazz, I think that's all of them. Did I miss one in there? Let me jump into this Kickstarter mess. Dismiss that. Doodly. Yeah, I believe that is all 5 of them. It's asking for passwords and logons and all of them. Yep, that's got them all. All right, so we're hoping to wrap up 2 or 3 of these this year, and the final 2 early next year. So we are hammering to the end. Any chance we can get some prints of the art in the books? So we're going to launch. We're looking at a number of things. We're looking at from calendars to advent calendars. We're also looking at a series of journals called the Dragon Journals that will sport each of the covers from the Monsters and Treasures on them and give you notebooks that you can use, for a while at your gaming table, just kind of blank journal paper. We're looking at that, and we had very long conversations about making prints available. There's a little bit of special stuff that comes with the prints because either they get folded and they're damaged, or the tubes become a whole logistics thing. So we got to kind of look at doing prints. But I think there's a lot of art in there that is really worthy of a good print. May end up just sending it to Noble Dwarf and letting Noble Dwarf do his canvas prints that he has become so very, very good at. Lord Kazumba has joined us. How's it going, Jay? Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I know you've the whole your whole odyssey, but hopefully you're jumping back on the wagon. I am hanging in, and that's all we can do sometimes, without a doubt. Good Lord of mercy. All right. And we have not forgotten Altamira. We have not forgotten at all. But luckily, our schedule is so packed for the next 4 or 5 months that we got a little bit of wiggle room.
He just told me last week he was ready to get it printed.
Good deal. Yes, let's do that, Jay. Absolutely.
I'm full of shit, too.
And the last thing to talk about is Castle Zagig. We are not hardwired yet, but it looks like February 11th is the date that we're going to launch the Backer Kit crowdfunding campaign. I will begin wrapping that up in the next few days, wrapping up that and choosing the date in the next few days. I got to run it up by the trolls, make sure everybody's on deck and what he's doing and something. And I always forget holidays and whatever else that's going on, wherever it's going on. But we will begin putting the Castle Zagig Kickstarter together in the coming weeks so that we know exactly what's in it. We finalized everything we needed to with the attorneys for the estate on the 18th. That's part of why I went up to Game Hole, is to go over and spend the day with the attorneys, which I did. And all of that is copacetic. So super jazzed about that. I got to give Mike Smith a call and bring him up to speed, and we got to get a few things signed. But it's all a done deal. So that's very, very excited about that. We will get this thing moving fast. Is there anywhere we can see date changes for releases, events, etc.? Something we've worked on for a while. We used to keep up an online schedule that did have all of that stuff, and we've recently built an internal schedule. I'm always reluctant to put up dates like that because so many things interject, from whether it's something in the troll dens that we need to step back and kind of regroup to, take another 30 days to do whatever, to shipping issues, to all kinds of stuff. I'm always a little bit reluctant. That said, as we move back into self-distributing for years and years and years, Troll Games was part of a consolidatorship. We separated with them a couple of years ago and have been pretty aggressively rebuilding our distribution channels where we do it directly. And that's going to require us to be more timely. So what I'm going to eventually do, and I can't put a time frame on this because we're just so much stuff to do, but what I'll eventually do is put that stuff up. I think Chuck or Grace or someone has an events page on the webpage somewhere.
Yeah.
So it'll go in there where you can kind of just go and call the information and get at least a general idea. guaranteed that's the first he's hearing of it. I'm not sure what Kothar is talking about, but but we do have a schedule here. If you look at the, I think I made it. I haven't sent it out in a week or so, but it kind of tells us where we all. It was the Tyler. You remember the giant board I had right here? We've moved that to an Excel spreadsheet, and as soon as something is put in solicitation, it's kind of we got to get it to them when we said that we're going to get it to them. So. As we refine that for distributors, we will make you guys, give that to you for you to enjoy. Any more questions? Roll up.
No, not really. Nope, not much. Just Kothar causing trouble. That's about it. And Alan Rose in the chat.
Alan, how's it going? Yes, Alan, we got to talk about the Amazing Adventures. We got to get those rolling out to you so we can get those in the United Kingdom ASAP. They are here and ready to go, and I think you wanted. I think you wanted to do a restock on things too. So very, 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 very much looking forward to getting these things out. I don't have my desk copy with me. I don't know where it went. But those Amazing Adventure books I got to go get them because they just look absolutely fantastic. So the player's guide, it is here. It's full color, of course. All just looks very, very cool. Lots of new artists, lots of new art in there. The Chronicle Keeper's Guide, and we will have in the coming days that's the cover of that book. I'm gonna find a cute little art piece in here. We'll have in the coming days the free monster manual up for it, so it's just full color too. To tide you over until we get the new M&T out, which can obviously be played with CNC. And Jason corrected me this morning. I keep using the wrong term. What the new monster book will be called for Amazing Adventures? I think it's the Monstrous Compendium. I can't remember. It's something like that. But it's going to have full treatments of Dracula. All of the cryptoids, if you will, or some of them, I should say. I should not put words into Jason's mouth because he will be writing them. Yeah, so these books are for sale with the screens and at least 3 adventure modules. Is that right, Chuck? I think we got 3 adventure modules up there.
Maybe, yeah, we've got 3 right now. We got like 3 more in the hopper.
Yeah, got more coming.
That's
the Ruined
Adventures. Yeah.
What we'll do after this is we'll start releasing one every 2 weeks or so until we get all caught up. Was there a question, Chuck?
I was rolling back to see. Yeah, King asks, what is your favorite new spell in Reforged? In the new Reforged CNC books.
Well, the spells are all the same. They just changed the name on like 5 or 10% of them. So, or however many percent. So...
What was one of the ones you had to rewrite? I know there had to be some of them you rewrote and you were like, oh man, this is great. Come out.
I rewrote all of them. And then Jeremy went back through it and cleaned it all up. Man, I don't know what my favorite spell would be.
Arcane Armor.
That's the only new one. That is true. There is a new spell in there called Arcane Armor. I want to say that I enjoyed writing that. What the hell was it? Trying to look down. Spiritual Warrior. I think I enjoyed rewriting that one. I don't know. I'd have to dig into it. I do like how we kind of shifted focus away from the statistics or whatever the stats and went into this is what the spell kind of does. I like that type of stuff because I've played for so long that I appreciate it when the players who are doing spellcasters step in and kind of do something a little bit different because and a lot of the spells are just the same spell. Fireball is the same as lightning bolt, blah 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 blah. So I just like different stuff. Been using that in my game for several weeks. Finally, the magic users have some protection. The armor spell is much appreciated by everybody. Let's see. Those are AA books. Are amazing. Quick correction. I think the Japanese Arisaka rifle was listed twice as the Arisaka Asai. But that I couldn't tell you. I think you're talking about in the book. There's quite a debate going on Discord about calibers and all of that stuff that is it seems to be I don't know. It's anyone who has a passion for something, and Tyler, you're one of these folks who has a passion for something, learns all of that all of that minutia around it. It makes me think that I don't really have a passion for anything because I don't really remember much of anything. A little bit of Austro-Hungarian history, I suppose, but I can't quote stuff like that. Tyler and Dakota was in here yammering on about 9mm and 10mm and this, that, and the other. I don't know what's going on. I enjoy firing a firearm.
He's like, sure.
Yeah, but I can't keep up with all that stuff. It's like car people. When you talk to car people, they can, tell you whatever is firing here or whatever. Bird people are the same way. Rock people are the same way. Smile and nod. Yes, wolf alone. That's what I do. I do that mostly, I think, in my life. I actually turned to my wife. I can't remember what we were talking about. Someone was talking about it. I'm just not that passionate about anything. So, I just don't know. And a lot of the stuff I read, I just forget about it. I just move on. I'm not really sure what my purpose here on planet Earth is, but I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. I enjoy Dr. Pepper. That's good. You have people to keep up with those things, Steve. Yeah, there you go. That's it, Sparky. We're going to go with that. Speaking of which, Sparky, I got to get you a whole lot of art from Amazing Adventures.
Yes, we need him. We need him chained up right now.
Yes, absolutely. Never thought about that way. Use metric system when it comes to guns. I don't. I got a 45. John Wee, I got a 45 in my, whatever, and 30-06. So, chain away. That sounds wrong. Yeah. You're my spirit animal, Steve. Yeah. I don't know. Someday maybe I'll get passionate about something. Surely, see, the thing is, I get fired up about things, but then I get bored. And this UFO thing, I'm hanging on, but the book I'm reading, I'm not very impressed with. It's
you start finding other books in your head that you might just say, well, maybe I'll just stop reading for a little bit and go back to. That's when you know.
Well, it's the one that came out that kind of reignited the whole thing. It's Imminent by Lou Elizondo, and this came out like a year ago or 2 years ago or something, and it starts off with when he was in the service. He went into that special branch of the service that taught him how to use ESP to track terrorists and stuff. And I was in the Army. I don't remember that special branch. Maybe it's really secret, but it didn't. I don't know. So it's kind of got me off on a weird foot with this. And the title kind of bugs me because if those aliens do not invade in the next 6 months or so, then the title's pointless. It wasn't imminent. It was just, it'll
be changed to theory. So.
Yeah, exactly. If people have been seeing UFOs, and I suspect something, I don't know anything, but it's not imminent because it's been going on since 1947. So
I saw someone in the chat earlier talking about doing the Lord of the Flies.
Yes, Soon Tide, Stargate. Hold on, 100 minute interruption, Chuck. But yes, Stargate. That's what he was talking about, and it's called what is it called? Far Seeing Review, Distant Review. I can't remember. I was reading it just the other night. I'll find it in just a second. Go ahead, Chuck, while I look this up.
Oh, I was just going to say someone had come up with the good idea of doing a Lord of the Flies campaign in AA. That would be interesting.
That would be very, very interesting. I can't find what it's called. It's remote viewers.
Oh, look, Death Angel's got it, I think. Remote viewing,
yeah,
right?
Soon Tide has already got remote viewing, yes. So we can't print it anymore. No, because our weekend. So that was the Elven Tree Police. Yeah, I don't. It's just, and maybe this is part. I know that the United States military and our U.S. government. I can't speak for the government across the pond, but ours has spent an awful lot of money doing an awful lot of strange things. So it's very, very possible, but it stretches it. I wish he would just stuck with the UAEs and the UFOs and whatnot. But he didn't, and I'm 50, 60 pages into the book, and we haven't even got to those yet. And so it's time to get to the UFOs. And it's interesting too, because when you read stuff from the 1950s, there's this sense of wonderment about it. But now in the modern parlance, there's this sense of conspiracy about it. So there's a different tonnage that's very, very interesting. I'm drifting back into the 50s for some reason.
See, Agile Monk asks, for those of us that support the TLG Patreon, such as me, I am at the highest tier to show the love. Will you be kicking more into it here again soon?
Yes, that was actually on the docket at game. We had a company meeting, and that was on the docket, and we did not get to it because there were so many other things that we had to go over. But Patreon is one of the three things that I'm the most concerned about that needs to either be, do we move on from it, or it needs to be revitalized. Someone needs to manage it and get it squared out. Jeremy was doing it for a while, but as soon as Jeremy moved into my orbit with book layout design and all of that, he has very little time to manage the Patreon. We will get into that in the coming days as soon as these 3 books are at the printers. It really is going to open up a lot of time for all of us around here. And Patreon. The other thing on the list is the Amazon Advantage account. We gotta clean that. We gotta clean our presence up over on Amazon and then distribution, which is nice. Agile Monk, we may take you up on that. I gotta look. I don't frequent Patreon, so I'm not real familiar with how the whole thing works. And so I need to kind of bring myself up to speed on that. But Roe Raggedy being in Steven's orbit sounds very scary. It's a lot of hey, can yous all day and frequently at night. Today was Jeremy's day off, and he got a 4 o'clock hey, can you from me today. So. But there you go. Any more? We are going to shut her down early. I got to split at 5:15. Does anyone have any more questions? So when are we getting actually, Sparky, Dakota and I talked about them this week. I'm going to try to get them printed and cut tomorrow.
Did I give you the list last year? I don't even remember.
You did. I still have the list.
I was going to ask you today, and then you were like,
"We're not updating anything.
No,
we're just sending it. We're just sending it. No more updatings." Wolf Alone conspiracies happen all the time. 99.9% of all of them fail because of laziness, incompetence, or blabbering to impress a girlfriend. That's exactly right. It's a Christmas miracle in October. Yes, and then you'll get another one in November. I have not contacted Walton yet, but I know it's going to go on the next one. So the next Christmas card should be in the works very, very soon, probably tomorrow. Is there a time frame on A.M.A, which I only heard about this week and hadn't realized was being released as a CNC product? Sometime next year, I'm hoping that he gets it written. As soon as he has it done, we can move it into the Kickstarter. Of course, we will into the crowdfunding. Of course, we have to make room on the crowdfunding schedule, and the first and second quarters are probably eaten up, so it may be as much as third quarter next year. But as soon as he's done and we got a lot of art and maps, then we're plunging into it without a doubt. A.M.A is going to be badass.
Aaron Ralph says, you see his statement? He's made a statement there, a public statement.
I did not see it. Do I need to?
Just above where that sadness talks.
Statement. Thanks for getting back to me on Discord finally about Princess and it only took 6 months. But you can see, Aramil, why I didn't want to just say that out publicly. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing in the world. You trolls have a good evening. Looking forward to the next stream. Thank you, Soon Tide. We will be winding down here in a minute or so. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one. Jay is going to knock it. He is absolutely going to knock it out of the park. Chuck, do we got any last minute messages?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to run my stream tomorrow. I think I'll probably take part of the day off tomorrow because I need to get this.
I think that's a good idea.
Let's put it straightened out.
Yep, that's a good idea. And everyone just look on the Troll Lord and my Twitter, and you'll know when the.
We'll be back Thursday, of course, with our regular stream, and we'll do a big game hole thing. We'll hit everybody up and ask them what they thought about it and all that. I think that'd be good to do.
Sounds good.
Unless it's me and you, and then we'll talk aliens. So.
Aliens, of course. All right, everybody, you all have a great rest of your evening, and we will talk to you on Thursday when we regather for whatever we're yammering about.
Sounds like a good plan. All right, everybody, you guys have a good evening, and thank you so much. And Troza, ow! Boy, my voice is.
You killed